Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, I'm here to talk about UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi, specifically the main event that happened in the bantamweight division between number 2 in the bantamweight, Cory Sandhagen, and Omar Nurmagomedov. But before getting started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. First off, I would like to start off the video by saying that it's happened again. A UFC Fight Night tops the last major event, which by major event, I mean main cards. And the main card specifically that I'm talking about here is the UFC 304 card that happened in Manchester. With all respect to everyone that put that card together, but we saw a lot of cautious fighters during that night. As a matter of fact, you can just go back and look at the 12, I believe it was like 12 fights, and you can just see the results of those fights. Most of them did end in decision, with an exclusion of a couple fights. Okay, there was some entertaining fight. We can see the Paddy Pimblett fight. We can also say the main event between Leon Edwards and Belal Muhammad was also a fascinating watch to fight. Aside from those two fights, maybe one more fight here or there. But other than that, it was, I don't want to say an anticlimactic UFC 304, but it was not as entertaining as the card that happened in the Middle East, specifically Abu Dhabi. This card had everything top to bottom. Endless entertainment, whether we talk about Shada, Omar Nurmagomedov. Unfortunately, Tony Ferguson, Michael Chiesa fight was also a fascinating one, and for as long as it lasted, that was an interesting few minutes. But here, I'm specifically to talk about Omar Nurmagomedov, Cory Sandhagen, Omar Nurmagomedov heading into the future. What does Omar Nurmagomedov's performance last night against number 2 ranked Cory Sandhagen mean for the division going forward, and so much more? Omar Nurmagomedov, obviously the direct cousin of the great Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib walked out to the octagon, and he was in the corner of Omar Nurmagomedov during the night of UFC Abu Dhabi against Cory Sandhagen. The style was evident, even though Omar possesses a lot more striking than, let's say, Islam or Khabib did. Also, he's very explosive. And in all honesty, he does not lack any wrestling as well, even though that department can improve. And obviously, he has the best guy in his corner in order for that to improve. Now, I'm here to talk about the fight between Cory Sandhagen and Omar Nurmagomedov, specifically the five-minute rounds, the 25 minutes. I'm here to break that down. The fight did start off a bit jittery from Omar Nurmagomedov's side. That was not the case for Cory Sandhagen. Cory Sandhagen was extremely composed and calculated all throughout the duration of the fight in terms of takedown defense. I think he did an amazing job. Those guys that come from Dagestan, I don't know if Omar Nurmagomedov's from Dagestan, but he's certainly from that region of Russia, around that area. He is the direct cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov. But I'm not sure if he is from Dagestan. He's from that area, though, that part of Russia. So that style of wrestling is extremely difficult to deal with. All you have to do is look back at the last main event, the one that took place in Manchester, UFC 304, between Leon Edwards, former welterweight champion, versus current welterweight champion Belal Muhammad. Belal went to train with the Dagestanis, and the style was evident in his wrestling against the former welterweight champion Leon Edwards. Took the guy down like 10 times, and he was successfully. When those guys take you down, it's not like other styles of wrestling. They leech onto you, and they use their legs to hold you down on the ground. And I do digress a bit. The wrestling that happened between Sandhagen and Omar Nurmagomedov, I believe one of the commentators did hint to it, and they phrased it in a beautiful way. They said it's like a 3D wrestling. Usually, grappling matches are pretty boring. You can pretty much say that. But what was happening between Sandhagen and Omar Nurmagomedov was just a different level. And shout out to Cory Sandhagen for really avoiding being kept down after being taken down for like the majority of the fight, with an exclusion the very last takedown. Omar Nurmagomedov had this best takedown, and he was able to keep Sandhagen down for the last, I believe, 2 minutes of that fight. Even though he was not able to land any significant elbows or any shots for that matter, or he wasn't really able to even come close to submission attempts. So in that regard, I have to give credit to Cory Sandhagen. I believe if these guys were to fight again, then Cory would have a better performance than he did last night against Umar. But I do digress a bit. I'm going to go back to Omar Nurmagomedov because I believe the winner deserves more time of let's say respect, and just kind of giving the guy his flowers because he did deserve it. Cory Sandhagen ranked number 2 in that bantamweight division. Some may argue that it's the deepest division in UFC. I kind of seem to disagree. I think that's the featherweight division. The featherweight division is truly full of assassins. Think about it. Look at the names. You will see what I'm talking about. But we are talking about the bantamweight division here, so we have to give these guys some respect, especially Omar Nurmagomedov after a fantastic performance against a top-ranked opponent. A lot of people criticize Omar and said that he doesn't really face top names. Cory Sandhagen is a top name. Matter of fact, he's ranked number 2 in that bantamweight division, and Omar Nurmagomedov was able to beat him, not in spectacular fashion. He did not finish Cory Sandhagen, but he was able to control the fight from beginning to end. He did start off the fight a bit jittery, a bit nervous. I'm pretty sure that he's not quite used to the lights. Main event, I believe it was the first time for Omar Nurmagomedov being in the main event. But in terms of performance, I don't want to say that's the best Omar's got. Absolutely not. This guy is far away from his best. You guys have to realize that. This guy has not reached the pinnacle yet. As a matter of fact, I think last night's performance was probably like 50-40% of what the guy is truly capable of. Okay? And this might sound like a far-reach statement, but I think time will prove the statement to be correct. I think there's a little bit of improvement to be done in his wrestling. It's kind of wild to say, given how good of a wrestler Umar is. But having a guy like Khabib Nurmagomedov on your side is only promised to get you better in that department. But he does listen to his corner. You can see what Khabib was telling him in the corner. Of course, Coach Javier Mendez as well, one of my favorite coaches in the UFC. And he was implementing that every single round. He was faster than Sandhagen. Sandhagen was composed, like I said, for the majority of the fight. Omar Nurmagomedov was able to gain composure and control center of the octagon as the fight graduated, but he did start off a bit jittery, a bit nervous, and he was not able to keep Sandhagen down when he did take him down. As the fight graduated, he was actually able to land some good shots, a lot of leg kicks. He was quicker than Sandhagen to the punch, just fast. The fastest guy that come out of that region that I've seen so far has to be Omar Nurmagomedov. With all respect to Islam and Khabib Nurmagomedov, the guys that actually reach championship status, but this guy is faster. This guy, in terms of striking, is better. And I think he can improve on his wrestling, and he can also improve on his striking. And I really think that we have not seen the best of Omar Nurmagomedov yet. I think this guy's only improving. Imagine this guy a year and a half, 2 years from now. I mean, guys like Sean O'Malley and Mir Abdulashvili have to take notice. And I think they have taken notice. If they didn't before, after the Sandhagen defeat, they have to take notice. After Omar defeated Sandhagen, rather, they have to take notice. And if they don't, then that would be the most foolish move ever. The guy is coming with momentum, and I really can't put it to words what those guys have, the guys that come from that part of the world. If I were to sum it up in one word, is it composure? Is it stoicism? I cannot put it into words. Is it genetics? I don't know. But I know one thing. The results do not lie. Whether it be Shara, the new addition to that crazy already middleweight division, whether it be Islam Makhachev, whether it be Habib Nurmagomedov. There was a guy in the name of Zabit Magomed Sharipov that unfortunately for us did not compete in the UFC anymore, just does not compete, period. And there's a guy in the name of Omar Nurmagomedov. These guys are just absolutely dominant. And I believe due to the fact that Bilal Muhammad spent some time with these guys, he got a bit of what those guys have. And now he is champion of the welterweight division. So whatever it is that those guys have, I cannot sum it up into words. But they are absolutely dominating their divisions, wherever they're fighting, okay? I cannot say that all of the guys that come out of that region are on the same level. That is not the case, obviously. But we have a guy championing the lightweight division in the name of Islam Makhachev. We have a guy that practiced with them, spent some time with them in the name of Bilal Muhammad, that's championed that is the current champion of the welterweight division. We have the former champion of the lightweight division in the name of Habib Nurmagomedov, who is retired undefeated, defeated the likes of Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and so on. And now we have another guy in the name of Omar Nurmagomedov, who is a true threat and a true contender for that bantamweight title. With all respect to O'Malley and Dilashvili. But this guy is coming with momentum, and we have not seen the best of him yet. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and like, subscribe for more.